Good morning, beautiful soul family. Welcome to another Monday Mastery, where we take in pulse on the energy we have just experienced this past week, a dab of the solar weather to see what was impacting us, and then some guidance on how to move forward. As a reminder, this is a timeless message. So if you want to just jump past those first couple of minutes of the current solar weather, everything else will find you when it needs to find you. So, how was your Scorpio new moon? Certainly was intense on this end, to say the least. Interesting solar weather. We did have a handful of M class and C class flares on Monday, as well as Tuesday. We had unsettled KP3, KP4 geomagnetic conditions on Tuesday. And I would say the intensity of that Scorpio new moon really started even days prior to when it typically would, because usually around a full moon or a new moon, you get 3 days on the ingress and then 3 days on the exit as far as intensity surrounding that moon. Sometimes a new moon can be pretty soft and easy, and we're just tired. It's a lack of light and energy. Whereas this new moon felt more like a full moon, thanks to a lot of different factors astrologically. We had a lot of complex intersections happening. And I do not claim to be an astrologer, although I have followed astrology for over 15 years. Just know that there was a lot going on, and I'm not even going to dig into that. So Wednesday, we saw a 7.24 M class flare, which is pretty big, along with other M class and C class flares. Then Thursday, we had a 2.03 X class solar flare. And so that we're already, as we're going through the week, the intensity was building, right? We had, again, just a handful of M class and C class flares for the remainder of the week, unsettled conditions Saturday and Sunday at a KP4-ish range, which is, again, not surprising considering that X class flare prior to that. It usually takes about 2 to 3 days for that to come in if we do receive the coronal mass ejection from that. I woke up this morning feeling just a lot of energy. It feels like the energy in general is moving very quickly. And I was not surprised to learn that we have had 9 M class solar flares so far today. And I'm filming this at 10 a.m. Central Time. So that's a lot. That's a lot. And it seems that whatever this Scorpio new moon put into place, it's not done. We're not done just because we're 3 days out from that moon. Something new was begun, a door was opened, an initiative was created or started, and now we're starting to see what that's going to look like. The light of the moon is returning today. I do find that during a new moon, there can be a lack of clarity. When there's that lack of light, it's just kind of uncertain of like, how's this going to go? Where's this going to go? And then when the light of the moon returns, you start to see more and more what this is going to look like. You get to kind of taste and sense where this is going. And so we're in that moment right now. If you have, it's interesting because people will tell you should set intentions at a new moon. To some degree, I would agree with that. But at the same time, I'm really starting to see evidence in my own life how the ego wants to set intentions. The ego wants to control, and that's ego-based consciousness. We don't want to be there. We really want to feel into the heart and the guidance of our creator and sense what is the plan for my life? What is my purpose? What do you have in store for me? And I love the phrase, choose what is choosing you. So yes, you can set intentions within what is already being offered through life and the divine, and try not to go against the grain. If you're being asked to go this way, don't set your intentions in the opposite direction, because it's a waste of your energy and time, and you're going to create some suffering when you're in resistance to what life is calling you to. Remember, pain plus resistance equals suffering. And so while the pain can come and go pretty easily, we tend to hold on to things, and that causes the suffering that we really don't have to experience if we are just willing to let go and let. That's interesting. Let go and let God is a phrase that I would hear as a child in my home. Those big triggers that came up this past week, the shadows that were brought up, all of the things that you thought you'd work through. Just remember, we operate in a cyclical nature, that we are spiraling upwards. And so, yes, it feels like we're coming back around to something that we already worked through. I'm using my air quotes for anyone not watching. But really, it's not that we have fallen back or that we have failed or that we didn't work through it the first time. It's just another layer. It's another level. You're at a higher elevation, looking back down on those lessons. And I don't know about you, but the things that were brought up, they were testing. They absolutely were testing of those old wounds that I thought I had healed. But what was presented was a more resilient approach. The things that might have seemed daunting or scary were only an issue for a minute, right? And this is the beautiful path of healing. When you do the trauma spotting work, you don't have to get taken down for days and weeks and months and years by your triggers like you used to. At least I would. And now you can move through things in minutes, an hour or two, when you understand how to calm the body and come back to center and find the divine and ask for clarity of perception. You can start to receive insight and guidance on how to move forward. What is this actually doing for me? Because life is always happening for you and not to you. Right. So there was a lot of frustrated, angry, aggressive people last week. And just remember, they're also dealing with their own triggers and their own wounds. These types of moments tend to come to push us towards what the divine is calling us to, what we are being asked to do. And sometimes if we are dragging our feet or we're in resistance to what is being asked of us, we'll get pushed to the brink. And it's the I'm done moment. It's the I'm done moment that is such a beautiful gift to say, enough is enough. We're not doing this anymore. I'm not going to tolerate being mistreated or staying in a life that isn't good for me. It's the moment that pushes us to finally make the change that needs to be made, right? And sometimes it can seem scary. It can seem daunting. It can seem illogical, the things that we're being asked to do. It's like, why would I go there? Why would I disrupt everything? What will people think? Right? All the things come up. Again, all of those are blocks and limitations. We are trying to do God's job and keep things under control, again, air quotes, and that is not our job. That is not our job. We have to let go of that burden that is too heavy to carry, because the divine knows everything and knows what's best for you and is trying to take you to the place that is going to help you realize the dreams and goals and desires that were put on your heart that you have asked for. And it's interesting because I didn't plan to speak to this, but when I was in the corporate world and really wanting to step into purpose and utilize my gifts and skills to make a difference in the world, and I knew that there was something more to life, I had such a yearning. Every fiber of my being wanted to walk away from that corporate world and step into the path the divine created me for. And I asked for that. I declared my intention. I want to step into my purpose. Mind you, this is 18 years ago at this point. Gosh, that's crazy to really look back at that. Yeah, my son just turned 18. And it might have been about 16, 17-ish years ago when Pluto moved into Capricorn in my ascendant. There you go. Yeah, it was probably 16 years ago. And every crazy thing that I have gone through in the last 16 years, I won't even go into the difficulty of it all. It didn't look like the dream was going to be realized. It looked like I was being tortured. It was really hard. It tested every ounce of me, but what it did was it sharpened me. I am not the same person. I was a weak, shy, scared, addicted little girl, terrified of the world, and trying to parent a little boy at the same time by myself. I'm literally the opposite person now. And so when you ask for what it is that you want, it doesn't happen overnight because we are not ready. We're not capable of being that person. We're not capable of holding that dream. And so the process that you go through, it's like forging by fire. It cleanses you, it purifies you, it burns off all of the waste and the excess junk, right? All of that trauma that lives in your body has got to be cleared out of the way for you to become what God intended you to be. For those of you who are new here, divine source, creator, universe, God, arose by any other name, right? Don't get hung up on that. Your creator made you with intention. Every hair on your head is counted. You are here for a reason. If you woke up today, it's because there is still a plan for your life. You are not an exception to the rule. You are not bad, wrong, or broken. You just have to be willing to go through the process of becoming the person that you see in your highest vision for yourself, that the divine has put in you, right? So I got way off track. I got to come back. Know that what you're being called to could seem scary or intimidating. It definitely will rock the boat. You might even look like the villain because you're going against what everyone else thinks you should do. But that's your indication. If they are shitting all over you, it's time to do something different, right? If you're letting other people control you, you are not becoming the person that the divine wants you to be, right? If you don't shine, if you don't speak, if you are not seen because you're worried about what everyone else is going to think, that is deeply connected to trauma, and you must get into the body to heal that. That is my gift. That is my purpose. That is what I'm here to do. I don't want to go down that path. I cannot express how profoundly humbled I am that the divine chose me to offer trauma spotting. There is something like that for you, but you've got to be able to do the work to get to that place of being able to receive that, right? Okay. Trust the guidance, make the moves, hold yourself through the fear, do it anyways. Do it anyways. This is our Exodus moment. This is the moment we are being pulled out of slavery. And I will say this for you individually, as well as us collectively as humanity, right? This is our Exodus moment. We are being pulled out of slavery. Let's not walk in the desert for 40 years. Let's get to the promised land, right? Let God move and let him take care of you. And you have to do that through faith, through trust, through taking the steps, taking the moves, making the moves. You have suffered enough. You do not need to earn this. You cannot earn this. You are already good enough. There is nothing you need to fix. Just believe so that you can receive. Stop telling yourself the story. It's not working. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. All stories, all lies. It is time for you to be delivered from this old way of being. Okay. Trust. It's going to be really good. It doesn't make sense. It seems illogical. Trust and do it anyways. You got to get out of the way, right? We've got to get out of the way by letting go of control and by being still. You got to take the limits off of God. The creator of the universe can do anything if you will get out of the way. That's the challenge. And I'll raise my hand. I don't like to speak so aggressively, but I do it because I've done it. I've been there, right? Take the limits off of God. Let him move you, right? Check your fear and your doubt at the door. It's got to go. That's how you limit God. Start telling yourself a new story. Good things do happen to me. It is working. It is coming. I believe whatever is amazing and is for me is right around the corner. It's here now. There's no going back, right? Don't look back. There's no going back. You don't want to be like the woman who turned to the pillar of salt because she looked back. Don't do it, right? You must believe to receive. Choose what is choosing you. And when I say be still, that is stillness of mind, that is stillness of body, right? So what you put in your body can either excite your cells or it can calm you. Be really clear on what you are putting into your body. Are you creating stillness or are you creating chaos, right? There's literally something called an excitotoxin. You need to understand what you're putting in your body, right? I could go down the food path. We're not going to do that. Reduce all noise and distraction. Use music instead of people talking, right? If you need input into your mind, is it stilling you or is it causing chatter, right? Silence the distractions. Fast so that your body can become calm and still. Still your mind and body. Fast and pray for deliverance, if you will, right? Find the divine in your body and just listen. It's entertaining. Trust me. If you can get in tune with the energy, the source energy in your body, it's fun. It's fun to watch and see how it moves through you and what information it brings to you, right? It's not just about quieting your mind. It's about listening to the divine that speaks through your physical heart. Okay. So bring your focus to your heart and just listen, right? Sit back and watch, just watch what happens. Let him set you free. And I asked for final messages. I felt like the message wasn't complete. I was like, what else do you want me to say? And he said, I love you. I love you. Can you trust me? Right. So ask yourself that question. Can you feel the love of your creator surrounding you and holding you right now? Do you trust him enough to get out of the way, to let go? And if not, that's likely pointing to trauma. And that's why I'm here. That's why I created the More Than Enough Mastermind. That's why you can come in, receive healing sessions, receive all of the cognitive awareness that you need, and then also get into the body, because the body keeps the score. The body is divine. The body is the temple. The body knows how to heal you and set you free. The mind is the veil, the separation, the illusion, the thing that cuts you off from the divine, right? Bring your focus and attention to your heart, connect with the divine, and trust. It's going to be amazing. I love you, my friends. Please do like, subscribe, and share if you know anyone who could benefit. And I will see you on the next one. Namaste.